Okay. So maybe the cancers that we hear about, which is the cervical cancer, the breast cancer, and the prostate, could we say they are the most prominent in Zambia?
Those certainly are very, very prominent. Cervical cancer is, in fact, the most common cancer. And then you have other cancers like Kaposi sarcoma, which, if I am correct, has got a link with the HIV and AIDS. Then you have cancers like the one I had, which is Hodgkin's disease, which is a disease of the lymphatic system. That's another fairly common cancer.
Okay, all right. And when we look at Zambia as a country, from the time you were diagnosed with cancer, which was sometime when you were 23 years old, to now, could you say this talk, you know, the print being involved, the press being involved, you know, even the First Lady being involved, has made a difference? Could you say there's a difference we are improving with sensitization as well as maybe just curing cancer?
A very big yes to that. I think the first tick, I would say, the biggest score was to actually create the Cancer Diseases Hospital. Because prior to that, one would have to travel to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and very few traveled.
Because maybe you didn't even have the means to go there.
Absolutely, and the government would subsidize or would pay for your trip, and of course it has limited resources, so most people did not travel. So setting up of the cancer hospital was one of the best things that has happened for us cancer survivors. And of late, there's been increasing information, stories, both positive and challenging stories about cancer survivors. We now have the First Lady as our #1 advocate. So we are very excited that this is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been hoping and praying for, that cancer is given priority, that it's given focus, because it is a deadly disease, but there is hope. It can be prevented, actually. Definitely. So we need to focus on that. It can be cured if caught and treated early, and it can be managed, you know, if it is caught in its late stages.
Definitely. And I know Zambia Cancer Society works closely with cancer victims, and I want to find out, have you been affected by, you know, the recent break-in at the cancer hospital? What can you say on that, and have you been affected?
I have been affected. When I heard the news, I felt such a sense of loss and disappointment, sadness, that some persons could stoop so low and take away hope for a lot of people. I know a lot of people, or at least some people, were scheduled to have treatment yesterday. So what happens? Because cancer does not sleep, cancer does not stop. It continues ravaging one's body. So the sooner we can treat it, and you know, one has a schedule of treatment, the better. So this has certainly been a setback, a very big setback.
Now, your last word to people out there. How are we supposed to spend this whole month if we're going to be cancer sensitive?
This year, the government has, apart from focusing on breast cancer, which is normally the month of October, it's also focusing on prostate and cervical cancer. So it's the 3 cancers in one. What are we celebrating? We're celebrating cancer survivors. Yes? So it's a month whereby the lives and the challenges of cancer survivors are brought to the fore, in particular during this month. It's also about celebrating the fact that through the knowledge that we have, through information dissemination, through interviews such as this, we're encouraging people to go out, to come out and to take such action as going for a mammogram, going for a pap smear, to quit smoking, and so on.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on 360.
Thank you very much.
All right, that excerpt there just ends Woman 360 for this evening. Join me next week at the same time as we talk about another issue involving women. But for today, it's good evening.